Hi guys and welcome to my channel, and in today's video we'll be drafting this trendy bubu gown that you see in the video. So now let's get straight into the tutorial. So now what I have here is I cut out 4 yards of the Ankara fabric, okay, and I folded it into four. Okay, so now what you see here now is the Ankara fabric folded into four. That is one part for the front and one part for the back. You understand how we do this on this channel, okay? So now after folding your Ankara into four, I hope you are getting what I'm doing. After folding your Ankara into four, that is for both front and back, I took out 1 inch for the guideline. Okay, now why do I take out the 1 inch for the guideline? Is based on the fact that after drafting this, I would like to add extra ½ inch allowance to the shoulder line for joining. Okay, so that's the main reason why I came down by 1 inch for the guideline. So all my vertical measurement now was gonna start from that 1 inch line that I came down by. Okay, so now let's continue with this. So now I'm gonna take the length of my gown. The length of the gown I'm working with is length of 60 inches, but I wanted to make it a little bit longer. It's actually for a client. Okay, so I'm making use of a length of 60 inches. I practically exhausted the whole thing because the client wants it so flowy. So that is I took out the length of the gown. So I'm doing this in order for me to have a straight line, okay, because I cannot start measuring all the way from up again. So I'm doing this now to have a straight line. So you can see after getting the straight line, I connected the lines together. Remember, after taking the length of your gown, you need your hemming allowance. Okay, so you can use 1 inch hemming allowance, you can use 2 inches depending on what is comfortable for you. So now I'm making use of 1 inch hemming allowance, and you see me connecting the lines together. Okay, so now after doing this, what you're going to do now is to impute our main measurement. So I'll be imputing now the shoulder line. Okay, this the sleeve length. So you measure from from your center back to wherever you want your sleeve length to be. Okay, but for this video I'm gonna be exhausting the whole thing. Ankara fabric is not that very wide. Okay, so now I'm taking my neck measurement. So I'm making use of neck width of 3.5 inches and the neck depth for the front of 1 inch. Okay, so we just impute the neck width for the front, for the back, okay, neck depth for the back at this moment. Okay, so now I'm taking my the round sleeve, depending on how wide you want your sleeve to be. So that is what will be inputted. But before you take your round sleeve, you need to take out your shoulder slope. Okay, take out your shoulder slope. So you come down from that guideline by 1.5 inch and connect it to your neck point. Okay, you come down from that guideline by 1.5 inch, you can see what I'm doing, and connect it to your neck line. Okay, so now you take your round sleeve, depending on how wide you want your sleeve to be. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm kind of trying to show you guys how to actually get your round sleeve. Okay, so I'm making use of a round sleeve of 12 inches. Okay, Abby, yes, 12 inches. You can make use of 12, you can make use of 10, 11, depending on how wide you want to be. That one is based on your own discretion, guys. So now after taking the round sleeve, that your round sleeve measurement should start from that 1.5 inch slope that you took at the shoulder line. Okay, so you're gonna be marking that down. Okay, so after marking that down, now you're going to be going in by 1 inch. Okay, you're going to be going in by 1 inch. Okay, so after going in by 1 inch, you just make a curve. Okay, you just make a curve and connect the whole thing all the way down. Our gown is almost ready, guys. So you connect the whole thing all the way down. The gown is kind of full. Okay, it's kind of full. So depending, if you don't want it to be full like this, you can still go in. Okay, if you don't want it to be full like this, you can still go in. I hope you get that. So now once you are done with this, you're gonna be cutting it out. I hope you understand this, guys. So I'm adding ½ inch sewing now. You can see why I left that guideline. Okay, so I'm adding ½ inch for the joining allowance at my shoulder line. Guys. So after adding the ½ inch, I'm gonna be connecting the line to have a straight line there. Okay, so that it will guide us whenever we are cutting the fabric. So now what we are going to do next is to scrape it out. We are taking out the unwanted parts already from our fabric. I hope you are getting this, guys. If up till this time you haven't subscribed, what are you still waiting for? Let's grow this community together. So remember, for the neck width, I took 3 by 5 width and 1 inch depth, that is for the back. We'll only be working with the back at the moment. Okay, you know that the front and back is placed together. Okay, they are together. So once we are done cutting out, okay, once we are done cutting out, we have to take out the back. We're going to be taking out the back, so that I'll be working only with the front. You know, the front has this kind of V kind of shape. Okay, so we have to after cutting this, we'll take it all the way, we'll take the back away and work on the front. I hope you understand this. So if up to now you have any question, please guys, the comment section is always open. Drop your question and I'll be there to answer your questions. So now let's continue cutting our fabric. So guys, once you are done cutting your fabric, so the next step that you should take is you're going to be taking out the back. Okay, I mentioned this earlier on. So we are done with the back at this stage, so you're going to be taking out the back and place the back on one side. Then we're going to be working on our front piece. Okay, so now what you're going to do now is to fold back your front piece into two. You're going to be folding back your front piece. Remember, we use for the neck width, when we're measuring out, we use 3.5 inch for the neck width and 1 inch for the neck depth. That is the neck depth. So guys, I discovered that I lost the video clip for the front where I altered the front. So now in this video now, what I'm doing is you're going to measure out your cleavage length. That is how open you want your front to be. Okay, so I went down by 9 inches. Okay, then I came in, you can see the way I'm coming in. Okay, I came in by 1.5 inches. Okay, that's from the midpoint inward. I came in by 1.5, then I made a connection, a V kind of shape, okay, so you can see the way I'm doing. So that was the same thing I did on the fabric, but I lost the video clip to this particular part here. Okay, so after doing the connection, you're going to be cutting out the whole thing. Okay, so this part now would be where we are going to be attaching another fabric on. I hope you get that. So guys, after cutting out, what I'm going to do is this. At that point there, you're going to be coming in by 0.5 inch. Okay, by half an inch. Okay, so this partner will enable you to join that other fabric easily. Don't worry, you will understand this part. Okay, so now when you take in that half an inch, you're going to be cutting it to that half an inch at that angle there. You can see what I did there, so you just leave it like so. Okay, so now let's continue. So guys, after you are done cutting the front and the back, okay, so you're going to be opening them up, right? So you're going to be opening the front like so. Okay, and you also open the back. So at this point now, you want to start joining uh, um pieces together. So you're going to be joining it good side to good side. So the first step in joining is for us to join the shoulder first. So you're going to be taking note of the good side. So I'm going to be taking it good side to good side. You can see the way I'm doing in the video. So good side to good side. So I'll go to my sewing machine now and I will sew the shoulder part. Remember, by that half inch that we left for the sewing allowance. So I'm going to be sewing the shoulder part there by half an inch. So guys, after I'm done joining the shoulders, what I'm going to do next is I opened up the fabric. Okay, so I'm going to measure around for I want to measure it round. That is for the V shape at the front. So you're going to be taking your tape and measuring from that part that you notched. Remember, we went in by 0.5 when we were cutting. That I used paper to illustrate. Okay, so I'm going to be measuring from that part for both the front and back. I'm going to be measuring everything together. So you can see the way I'm doing in the video. That is the same way you also do yours as well. So you're going to be measuring everything. Okay, you can see me doing that in the video. So measure everything, and guys, you note it down. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do well to subscribe and also turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now what I did is you stop at that other edge that you notched. You can see that you stop at that other edge that you notched. Okay, so guys, after measuring it, I have 28 inches. Okay, so that 28 inches, I'll be adding 2 inches to it, making 30 inches. So I'm going to be keeping this fabric piece aside and bring out the other fabric that. So guys, this is the fabric for the neckline for the front. So you remember we have 30 inches. Okay, that is, we measure 28 inches plus 2 inches, making 30 inches long. So that is what you see me measuring. So I measure 30 inches long. Then the width of the neckline, that is the fabric that we add to the neckline, is 5.5 inches. That is for the width, okay, 5.5 inches. So that is what you see me measuring in the video. So now after measuring it out, that is 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches by 30 inches long. So you're going to be notching. I went ahead to add my hairstay to it, and ironed it. Then I notched the middle part of that fabric. Okay, so now you also do the same thing for the main fabric. You are going to be folding the fabric, and you measure the midpoint, that is the midpoint at the back. You're going to be measuring the midpoint of that fabric, so you are not going to be joining it midpoint by midpoint. I hope you understand it. So midpoint to midpoint, sorry guys. So that is what I did. I notched the middle part of the front of the back. Okay, then I'll be merging the two together. Is I'll be joining the two together, midpoint to midpoint. Okay, so I'll pin it down now, and I'll sew all the way around to the point where I notched. You see that point, Abby? That is the point where you are going to end, and we'll be sewing it 1/2 inch. Okay, so that is what you see me doing. I'm sewing everything all the way around to that particular angle that we notched. So I'll sew this part here, okay, and I'll also go back and sew the other part. I hope you get. So guys, I've gone ahead to sew the neckline all the way. So this is just like a bit of neckline, guys. So and make sure that after sewing the neckline, after you are done with the whole thing, you have to take your overlocker and overlock the rough edges. Okay, so now the next thing is for us to sew that part down. Okay, that rough edge at the neckline down, that is to secure it down, to have a neat finishing there. So remember that point that we notched, that 0.5 that we notched when we were cutting the altering the front side of our dress. Okay, so that is what it will be working, that is what we'll be working on here. So you can see the way I placed the collar. Let me, yes, it's a collar. You can see the way I placed the collar. So that is the same way you are going to be placing your collar when you want to actually join this particular part on your machine. So now you place your collar this way, and you're going to be pinning it down. So pinning it down will make your work easier. So you're going to start sewing from that part that you notched to the other part that you notched. Okay, so you can see the main essence why you have to notch. Okay, so now I'm still showing you guys how you're going to sew it, because if you don't sew from that part that you notched, you might have issues. You're definitely going to be having issues along the line. So make sure that you sew from that point that you notched to the other point. Okay, so that way you will have a very neat finishing at the end of the day. Okay, so you can see the way I'm sewing it, just one part from one notched part to the other notched part, then guys, you are good to go. So I just that is what I just did now, and you cut out the excesses. Okay, you're going to be cutting out the excesses and remove the pins, and I will show you guys how it looks like. So guys, here it's our color, and I'm loving this already. Okay, so make sure you overlock the rough edges. So now over to the next part. Okay, so now this other part now is basically depending on how wide and how long you want it to be. But for this tutorial, what I did is I came down by I used 17 inches length and 20 inches wide. Okay, 17 inches by length and 20 inches wide. Okay, and I went ahead to add my hairstay, and I folded in 1/2 inch. Okay, I folded it 1/2 inch to just give it that neat finish, and to make it easier when you are placing it on your fabric, when you're on your machine. Okay, so I went ahead to add hairstay, and I folded in at 1/2 inch. So what I did next is to mark out the midpoint, because it's very very important. Okay, you have to mark out the midpoint of this pattern here, pattern piece here. Okay, and also mark out the midpoint of your main fabric. That way you'll be matching the midpoint to the midpoint of this pattern piece here to the midpoint of the main fabric, and it will help your design to align well. Okay, so you can see the way I'm placing it, midpoint to midpoint. don't forget that, please. Midpoint to midpoint. So you need to be very careful about the details. You need to be very, very patient when you are doing this. So midpoint to midpoint, and you can see the way I'm placing it on the collar. Okay, so the way I'm placing it on the collar. Then you're going to be pinning it down, okay, so that it will be easier for you. You cannot underestimate the power of pinning, guys. Whether you're a beginner, whether you're an advanced designer, pinning is very, very important. Okay, so you're going to be pinning it down, and make sure that you stretch, or should I say, make sure that you do it in such a way that you don't have any folds. Okay, make sure that you don't have any folds. That means you need to be careful when you are pinning this down. Make sure that there is no fold under the fabric or any. So guys, make sure that there is no fold or any under the fabric or anywhere. And after you're done pinning, you're going to go into your sewing machine and you're going to sew the edge. Okay, you need to take your needle to the edge and sew it all the way around, guys. So now I've gone ahead to sew all the way around, and guys, you need to I will be ironing this now. Okay, so I'll go to my machine and I'll go to my ironing table and make sure that I iron out, so that to remove all those squeezes along the line. So guys, for the turn up at the sleeve edge, so what I'm going to do is I folded the fabric into two, and I'm taking 4.5 inches wide. Okay, so the length of this turn up is dependent on the length of your round sleeve on your main fabric. Okay, so make sure that the length is equal to that, or even more than that of the round sleeve on your main bodies. Then you cut out. So remember, we are going to be having it one for the one part of our sleeve, and the other for the one part for another part of our sleeve, so making two. So that is how you see we have two folds here. Okay, so I took 4.5 inches wide. So after this, you're going to be dividing it into two. That is to have one part each for each part of our sleeve. I hope you understand that. So guys, if up to now you haven't subscribed, please do it to subscribe to the channel, and also turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now I'm done cutting out. So what I'm going to do now, for each strip of fabric, I know you're going to be folding it into two, like so. So you go to your ironing table now, make sure that you iron it down. Then you're going to be attaching it to the sleeve part. Okay, so now this is what you're going to be doing. I folded it into two, so I'm going to be good side to good side, and you're going to be attaching it to the sleeve part. Guys, this video is getting long already, and I'll be as fast as possible for this. So now I'm joining the turn up now to the sleeve, good side to good side of the fabric. And after doing this, I'll add to one side, and I'll also do the same thing to the other side of our sleeve. Then I'll go ahead to hem. The only part remaining here is for us to join the sides. That is, after joining this to our sleeve part, is for us to join the size by 1/2 inch, by 1.5 inch. Also remember, this fabric, this design is gonna be a very wide one. Okay, so I used 1/2 inch to join the sides together. So that is what I'm presently doing. I'm joining the sides together. Okay, so I'll join the sides now, and then I'll go ahead to fold the down part of the gown. Yes, I'll fold. Remember the inches that you added for the hemming allowance, so that is the inches that you'll be folding. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing here. I am folding the down part of the fabric now, and once you are done folding this, we are done with this particular design. We are done with this. So once I'm done, I'll go to my overlocker, overlock the rough edge. Then voila, this is what we have at the end of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this class. Please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. And if there is any question, feel free to drop your question in the comment section. So I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye bye. Thank you guys for staying till this time.